If you were on the internet back in 2017, you'll remember the man who became a global phenomenon overnight. A Turkish chef in tight shirts, slicked hair, sunglasses indoors, and a very dramatic way of sprinkling salt. That was Salt Bae, real name Nusret Gökçe, and for a while, he was everywhere. He wasn't just a meme, he was a superstar. Celebrities lined up to eat at his restaurants, from Roger Federer to Mesut Ozil. His videos got billions of views. His empire stretched across the world, and he became the face of fine dining meets internet culture. But fast forward to now, Salt Bae has gone from viral icon to walking embarrassment. His restaurants are failing, his reputation is in shambles, and his desperate clout chasing has turned him into the butt of the joke. This is the downfall of Salt Bae, how a man who built an empire with a sprinkle of salt managed to lose everything. Nusret Gökçe wasn't born into fame. He grew up poor in Turkey, dropped out of school in the 6th grade, and worked as a butcher's apprentice. He built his cooking skills from the ground up, eventually opening his own restaurant in Istanbul. But what changed everything was one viral video in January 2017. In it, Nusret sliced meat with theatrical flair before letting salt fall dramatically down his arm. The internet went insane. He was instantly dubbed Salt Bae. Within weeks, he became a cultural sensation. Celebrities started showing up to his restaurant just to get salted. His Instagram exploded with followers. He wasn't just a chef anymore, he was an internet icon. And he capitalized on it brilliantly. He opened new restaurants across the globe, from Dubai to Miami, and positioned himself as the celebrity chef of the Instagram generation. But with fast fame came even faster ego. Instead of focusing on food, Salt Bae started focusing on the show. His restaurants became less about quality dining and more about theatrics. Giant tomahawk steaks, tableside carving, and of course, the salt sprinkle. The problem? The food wasn't actually good. Customers started complaining about bland, overpriced meals. Some even said McDonald's tasted better. But Salt Bae didn't care. He was charging $100 for Golden Burger, $120 for asado, and $80 for patron coffee. The restaurants weren't about flavor, they were about flexing. And people began to realize they weren't paying for food, they were paying for the chance to post a video with Salt Bae. It was clout dining. That's when the cracks began to show. Behind the gold steak and Instagram showmanship, Salt Bae's empire was messy. Former employees spoke out about insane rules. Staff were banned from using their phones, forced to work grueling hours, and treated like part of a military camp. There were lawsuits about stolen tips, wage theft, and even fake reviews being planted online to keep his image clean. At one London location, inspectors slammed his restaurant for hygiene problems. The reality didn't match the brand. Salt Bae wasn't running a fine dining empire. He was running a PR illusion. If there was one moment that completely destroyed Salt Bae's reputation, it was the 2022 FIFA World Cup final. After Argentina's dramatic win, Lionel Messi and his teammates were celebrating on the field. Suddenly, Salt Bae forced his way into the moment. He grabbed the World Cup trophy, tried to pose with players, and even pulled Messi by the arm to get a photo. The internet was horrified. Here was a chef who had nothing to do with the game, hijacking one of the most emotional moments in sports history just to promote himself. Messi's face said it all. He looked visibly uncomfortable as Salt Bae pestered him for clout. FIFA was so embarrassed they banned Salt Bae from future World Cup events, calling his behavior inappropriate. Overnight, the internet turned on him. He wasn't cool anymore. He was cringe. After the World Cup fiasco, things got worse. In London, diners posted viral receipts showing absurd bills for a meal that tasted like cafeteria food. In New York, critics ripped his restaurant to shreds, calling it Instagram food for idiots. In Qatar, guests accused his staff of ignoring basic service just to take videos. Videos even surfaced of staff accidentally setting tables on fire during performances. The empire was collapsing. Locations started quietly shutting down. Even when Salt Bae tried to expand, most places became ghost towns once the hype faded. The gold steak wasn't selling anymore, and neither was Salt Bae. But instead of laying low, Salt Bae doubled down. He showed up at the Champions League final afterparty trying to pull the same stunt as the World Cup. This time, security literally blocked him from the players. Videos of him awkwardly wandering the pitch went viral, with fans clowning him as football's biggest fraud. Every appearance made him look more desperate. He wasn't a celebrity chef anymore. He was a meme who didn't know his time was up. The saddest part of Salt Bae's downfall is how quickly the internet went from loving him to mocking him. In 2017, his salt sprinkle was cool. In 2025, it's embarrassing. His restaurants are punchlines, his clout chasing is pathetic, and his once invincible brand is collapsing under the weight of greed and ego. Salt Bae built his empire on style over substance, and when the style wore off, there was nothing left. When Salt Bae forced himself into Messi's World Cup celebration, it wasn't just a cringe moment. It was symbolic. It showed exactly who he had become. Not a chef, not a star, but a man so desperate for attention that he'd ruin someone else's victory just to stay relevant. That was the moment fans stopped respecting him. And once you lose respect, no amount of salt can season it back. Salt Bae's story is one of the fastest rises and hardest falls of the internet age. He went from viral sensation to global mogul, but greed, ego, and desperation destroyed everything. Today, his restaurants are ridiculed, his reputation is ruined, and his desperate clout chasing has turned him into the very thing he feared most: irrelevant. Salt Bae finally lost everything. Not because of bad luck, not because of cancel culture, but because he forgot the one ingredient that matters most: authenticity. And without that, even the fanciest steak in the world tastes empty.